Okay, so add from text file. We have to go and test if the text file exists. Obviously, we have to do that. If not, file exists. And the thing is called names.txt. You have to go and test to see if a text file exists. Begin and end. Show message. No file. And exit. And then we'll go and do our assign file statement. T file. And then the text file. Whatever you called it. I can't remember if I used capital letters when I saved this thing. I did not. Assign file and then reset. And then while not end of file, and we're going to go through every single line of the text file, and we're going to read it into the array. Read ln from T file into S1 line, but we could have put it, but now we have to go and increment a counter. We're going to set our counter to 0. This is what basically S line, sorry. What is a S line? Read line, and then we're going to say ARR, whatever it is, AR insert, I'll call it that, square brackets, R count ARR. What is R count ARR? I haven't given it any value, I can't just say that. I have to increment R count ARR, but I also have to set it to 0 beforehand before I go into the loop. So our counter for our array must be incremented when we read from the text file, and then we go and put it into the array. The string, this line. That's how you put the strings into the array boxes. Right, so we've got an array of all the strings in that text file. Now what? Well, that just makes it puts it into memory, and now we can do something with it. The question is, what are we going to do with it? Well, we do need to have it separated into 3 different arrays. I'm actually going to use the 3 different arrays as global arrays up here. AR names, colon, array, 1, 2 of string, ARR email, colon, array, 1, 2 of string, ARR cell, colon, array, 1, 2 of string. And then what about the array of the, what we really want is to have the message ID. The message ID. So I'm saying ARR MID colon array 1, 2 of integer. Alright, fine. So I've put all those things separate. And then we'll have our count integer. So after we read all those lines from the text file, we can go through every box of that array that you put it into in that local array and go and store it separately into these 3 different arrays. But we do have to get the MID, the ID of the message, and put that into a box as well. How are we going to get the ID of a message? We have to devise a process where we can actually choose from either a list box or a combo box. We can choose a message inside our loop. And that's going to be our tricky part, the tricky concept to solve. So, here we have AR insert. I'm going to go through every box of AR insert using a for loop. For k equals 1, 2. R count. AR do. Begin and end. Then we're going to get our S name and put it into an array. S name equals ARR insert square brackets k, but we're going to copy from our insert square brackets k starting at 1, and the number of characters will be the position of the semicolon of ARR insert k minus 1. Now there are numerous ways to handle this. This is quite complex. We can actually just say S line equals that. We could have done it straight from here into our 3 different arrays, so we don't actually have to do it this way. We don't even need ARR insert. We can use I count, and now we can go and copy from S line, this is a better way to do it. So we say S name. While we're reading from a text file, we'll copy from S line. There's no point putting it in one array and then putting in another one. That's stupid. So we get the one thing, and then we get a delete, and then we get the other thing. You might have noticed this. We've done this before. Delete and copy and delete and copy. S email, copy, and we can copy and paste because we know they're all they are all separated by semicolons. Then I can delete, copy and paste that. And then what we're left with S line will be the S cell. So this is the line from the text file, and now all we do is we increment our count over here. Okay, I know I did it there, but let's just do it over here, because now we are going to go and inside the loop of the text file, let's delete this other thing here, we don't need that. We are filling global variables, and our count is going to be our global counter. We'll set it to 0 over here. We'll increment. Are we going to set it to 0, or are we going to do it a different way? No, yes, we are going to set it to 0 there. So we increment our count, then we say AR name, square brackets our count equals S name, and we'll do the same for ARR email, square brackets our count equals S email, and ARR cell, square brackets our count equals S cell. And there we have it. Now, of course, we haven't got anything for the other array called ARR message ID. We have to fill that up. We want to go and insert into the database once we've chosen a message for each one of those people's names. And that's going to be our challenge. Are we going to use a dynamically created combo box and fill it up each time? Or are we going to have a combo box there, and then basically for each run of the loop, the processor will pause while we go and choose a message? It's going to be quite scary. Once we filled up our arrays, this is reading from the text file into an array. Maybe we can have another button. Okay. We're going to choose a BTN BTN choose message, and I've got a BTN choose messenger. I'm going to use a combo box and fill up combo box with messages, because obviously we have to choose the message for each person we want to add, don't we? So this combo box, give it a name, CMB choose message to add recipient. Now that is a very big long name. I suppose I should just call it choose message to add. Choose message to add. Let's change my name a bit, it's a bit too long. I'll be using it in code, I don't want to get it wrong. Choose message to add, that's enough. Choose message to add, so this combo box must be filled up in the on show event of this particular tabs sheet. So, here we go. I've got my code right here with dmdo. Here we can go and fill the message. I'm copying and pasting from somewhere else. We're not setting a grid column width, but I suppose we could because we have got that grid there. The grid over here is called Gr11. And all this is going to do is put messages in here. Please be quiet. So the person must now go and choose. So we're going to call this combo box CMB message to add. Choose message. Okay, there we go. CMB choose message to add. Now, question is, okay. So when this combo box is when this tab sheet is opened, then that combo box will be filled. Over there, we will basically get the RID with this one. Choose message to add. Okay. Yes, Lovey?
Where did you find the code that you copied and pasted?
It was just below here, in the delete message on show event. It was just putting the original message from the message table into the combo box. Which one? On show event. You can also watch it later on, you know.
Yes, ma'am.
I think we're going to have to do that this time. So, has anyone got some super duper ideas on how to choose a message for each box of an array? Because remember, we're going to have all the array boxes. Oh wait, I know how we're going to do it. We're going to fill a list box with the person's names, okay? That's what we're going to do. So this is going to be even more fun. We're going to have a list box next to our combo box, or should we have two combo boxes? So basically, I'm putting this thing out of the way here. So what we're going to do is, let's put a list box with all the recipients' names in it. Or maybe, I don't know, let's get another combo box. Okay, fine, a combo box it is. So I figured out a way how I'm going to do this. I'm going to get a combo box here. This is going to be all the people's names. And we're going to choose a person, choose a message. This button called BTN choose message, forget it. I'm not doing that one. Or am I? I don't know, maybe I will. With this combo box is going to be filled with the names of the people. We get another combo box to fill it with the names. And I'm going to give this combo box a name. CMB names to add. Now, this CMB names to add has to come from the array called AR names. You understand? The array called AR names must be used to fill this combo box up. We'll do it in this button click event here. This add from a text file. We will fill that combo box up with ARR names. Do you see that? And I can do it over here inside reading from the text file as well. I can say CMB names to add. CMB names to add. Dot items dot add s name. There we go. At the same time as putting it into the array, it's going to CMB names to add. Of course, the CMB must be cleared before we go and add any names. CMB names to add dot clear. Do we want to sort it? Yeah. After the while loop, CMB names to add dot sorted colon equals true. This was for the user to be able to see the names in alphabetical order. The actual messages are also going to be in alphabetical order. Okay? So you'll have a combo box of names and a combo box of messages. So we're going to match the message to the name. So this is how we can actually send a message to a person. We're going to choose the name over here, and then we'll choose the message. And then this BTN button will go there, and we'll say, okay, add this one, kind of thing. Let's give this button another name. BTN add this one. So we'll do it one at a time. But this one, add from a text file, is going to fill that combo box of names. When we click on the on-show event, this message combo box will be filled. Are you okay there, sweetheart? Then in this BTN add this one, we're going to read from that, but we have to find the ID, the MID. And this is the tricky part. We've sorted these names. We know that they came from an array. Well, actually, they came from the text file, but at the same time as putting in the array, I put them in the combo box. So it's basically the same order. But then I went and sorted them in alphabetical order. So they're not in the same order as the array. So we have to go find it in the array first. Okay. And then we want to get the message ID and put that into the array of message IDs. We've got to put the corresponding integer into message ID from the database. So we have to search through the database for the MID for the message, for this one. We have to go and search for the array box number of the name, and then we're going to go and add to the appropriate box number of ARR mid. We're going to put our message ID in there. And by the end of that, we should have a complete match of messages and IDs. I mean, everything should be matched. All the names should have a corresponding email cell and message ID. These are 4 parallel arrays. So here's some advanced programming for you. Okay, so now we're going to do this. We can even get a a fifth array here, ARR message. If we want to go and display the actual message itself in a text file, no, we'll do that in the SQLs, in our queries. Okay, so in BTN add this one, let's go and get our, what the lasers. Right, we're going to go and get our IMID. We have to get that at some point. We have to get the RPOS, the position of the actual name, RPOS name. Okay, we also have to have a for loop K to go through, well, I'm not doing it all in one line. K, integer, for loop counter. So we've got to go and get our S name and our S message. We're going to get those from the combo box components that was chosen, CMB names to add, dot text. We'll get the CMB choose message, S message, will be the combo box CMB choose message dot text, the chosen message that they chose, and we've got to get our mind straight here. CMB choose message to add. Okay, CMB choose. So we got the message that we want and the person to have. But we actually have to have the MID, the ID number, so that we can go and eventually add it to the database. Because that's the goal, really. We want to insert the message and the message ID into the database. But SName, because I put it in alphabetical order, obviously it's all mixed up now, so now I'm going to go and find IPOS. In other words, the index for IPOS. So we're going to use a while loop and a Boolean flag, and we're going to say while rnum is less than or equal to r count, which is the counter of the array, and b found equals false. Yes, it's getting complicated. What do you expect? If you want to get good marks, you have to have a complex program. So rnum, well, those two, we're going to go and say, okay, if ARR names, square brackets, rnum. But rnum has to be something, doesn't it? We've got to get it to 0. We have to increment it. It has to start at 1 because we made our array start at 1. The array was 1 to 1000 and our count is our counter for it. Uh-oh, I see a problem. Oh no, it's fine. But guys, if you use our count as a global variable, don't dare use it as a local variable anywhere. So if you have any global variables here, you must make triply 100% sure and double, triple check that you don't have these names as local arrays anywhere in your program. Okay, so we have to make sure of that. Right, if AR names are num equals S name. Now, are we going to worry about uppercase? No. The reason I'm not going to worry about uppercase is because S name comes directly from the text file, and then the array was actually filled by those names, so there will be a match. We're going to say b found equals true. We're going to say rpos name colon equals rnum. And we got our position for our name. That means when we go and add the message ID to the other array, which is parallel to all of those names, the ARR MID, we can go and put it in this IPOS name position. As soon as we got our ID, the message ID, we go and put it in IPOS name, that number. So, because we did sort our names to add, okay? When I added the names from there, I sorted it. You see that? This is why we have to do this. Go through the array again and look for a match. If I didn't sort it, I could just use +1, you know. But I'm trying to make it easier for the user friendliness. That's what our goal is as programmers, to make our program user friendly so that people will then buy more programs from us. Now we got to the choose message button. The choose message, well, okay, the combo box choose message. We have to go and find the MID for that choose message. So guess what? We're going to go through the database one row at a time. And we're going to look for, because it's all original, just filled with the original. We're going to find the corresponding message ID. We filled this combo box up over here with the original. Okay, if you go over, look over here, where is it? Oh, this is the on-show event, eh? The on-show event, we filled it up with original message. Now we want the message ID from that. We're going to do it in this button. We're going to go and connect to the database table. All right, there we go. Ah, there's my code. In the delete button, I've got it. I'm just going to use this. Don't be sarcastic, please. I will record you. I am recording. No place for sarcasm.
Sarcasm is a high fault of
Right, so here we go. So we get to the first, we say with DM do, go to the first row of the message, we want to find it. And here I have obviously got to put another variable there. We find our MID. That is all we want. I copied and pasted this code from which button? Well, it just happened, I think it was delete this message. Ach, nee, what? Now what? Yeah, I have to go and fix something here, obviously. Yeah, delete this message. I copied it from there. We were looking for the RID. I called it RID there. I didn't do active, probably true and false story. Maybe that would have been a good idea. Maybe. You know, it's possible. But maybe I don't need to at this point. But we're on add recipients, so I've basically done that. What is my message ID name? RMID. I called it RMID. The number, I called it RMID. So RMID. And then we got RMID. Now we're going to use RMID to add it to our database. No, to the array first. The array. ARR. What's the array called? ARR mid. Box number what? This is only adding it to the array. So we say ARR mid, box number, what is it? IPOS name. That one. We got that from looking for the name position in the array, AR names. That will be equal to mid. Now we've got the correct position, the primary key field in our array called AR mid, message ID. So for the person's names, so we've got all the things here, full name, email cell, and message ID. We do not have to worry about the primary key, because why? We were super clever, we made it an auto number field. So we don't have to go and create a primary key each time. It's the best way to handle your PAT. Auto number primary keys all round.